December 1943. A German prisoner of war camp in Texas. Christmas dinner. Hauptmann Klaus Richter sits at a long table. He is 29 years old, a tank commander, a veteran of El Alamein and Kasserine Pass, an officer of the Afrika Korps, a true believer in National Socialism. In front of him is a plate. On the plate, roasted turkey, glazed ham, mashed potatoes with butter, fresh vegetables, white bread rolls, and for dessert, ice cream. He stares at the food. He does not understand. His family in Hamburg is starving. His comrades on the Eastern Front are eating frozen horse meat. His country is being bombed into rubble every night. And here, in a prison camp, in the land of the enemy, they are serving him a feast. He picks up his fork. His hand is trembling, not from hunger, from something else. The first crack in the armor, the first fracture in the ideology, the first step in the psychological defeat of Nazi Germany. This is the story of how America won the war without firing a shot, how abundance became a weapon, how hamburgers broke the Wehrmacht. Tunisia, May 1943. The Afrika Korps surrenders. 275,000 German and Italian soldiers lay down their arms. The Desert War is over. The German prisoners are not broken. They are not defeated. They are angry. They lost because of supplies. They lost because Rommel was denied fuel. They lost because the Luftwaffe could not protect the convoys. They did not lose because the Americans were better soldiers. The Americans are not better soldiers. The Americans are Americans. Mongrels, half-breeds, a nation of Jews and Negroes and shopkeepers. This is what they have been taught. This is what they believe. Unteroffizier Wilhelm Braun is 24 years old, a gunner in a Panzer III. He has killed 17 enemy tanks. He has the Iron Cross second class. He is a true believer. The Americans cannot fight, he tells his comrades as they wait in the holding pen. They have machines but no spirit. They have numbers but no will. He spits on the ground. We are the master race. They are cattle. This war is not over. The others nod. They agree. The war is not over. Germany will rise again. The Führer has secret weapons. Victory is inevitable. They believe this, completely, absolutely. They are about to have their world destroyed. June 1943. The port of Casablanca. The German prisoners are marched to the docks. They will be transported to America, to prison camps, to wait out the war. Wilhelm Braun walks in the column. His boots are worn. His uniform is torn. He has not eaten properly in weeks. But he is still proud, still defiant, still a soldier of the Reich. Then he sees the harbour. Ships, dozens of ships, hundreds of ships, liberty ships, victory ships, troop transports, cargo vessels, tankers. More ships than he has ever seen in his life, more ships than he knew existed. A prisoner beside him whispers, "Where did they all come from?" Wilhelm does not answer. He cannot answer. German propaganda said America was weak. German propaganda said American industry was collapsing. German propaganda said the U-boats were sinking ships faster than the Americans could build them. But here, in this single harbour, in this single moment, there are more ships than the entire German navy. Wilhelm feels something cold in his stomach. Not fear, not yet. Just uncertainty. The first crack. The prisoners board a Liberty ship, the SS John Adams. They are led below decks, to sleeping quarters. Bunks stacked 3 high, clean sheets, pillows. Wilhelm touches the pillow. Real cotton, not straw, not rags, cotton. For prisoners, for enemies. He does not understand. The first meal is served. Wilhelm takes his tray. He looks at the food. White bread. Fresh white bread. Not the grey sawdust bread of Germany, not the hard black bread of the army. White, soft, fresh. And meat, real meat. Beef stew with chunks of actual beef. Potatoes, vegetables, coffee. Wilhelm stares. In Germany, white bread is a luxury. In Germany, meat is rationed. In Germany, coffee is a memory. And here, on an enemy ship, for prisoners, they serve this. A man beside him laughs bitterly. It must be drugged. They are trying to poison us. Another shakes his head. No, it is a trick. They want us to think they are strong. Tomorrow we will get bread and water. Wilhelm says nothing. He eats. The bread is real. The meat is real. The coffee is real. Tomorrow comes. The food is the same. The day after, the same. The day after that, the same. Every day, for 2 weeks, white bread, meat, coffee. The prisoners stop talking about tricks. The prisoners stop talking about poison. The prisoners start to wonder. If America can feed its enemies like kings, what can it feed its soldiers? If America can waste food on prisoners, how much food does it have? If everything they were told was a lie, what else was a lie? Wilhelm finishes his coffee. He looks out the porthole at the endless Atlantic. He thinks about his family. He thinks about his country. He thinks about the war. The second crack. 2 weeks at sea. The prisoners have eaten better than they have in years. They have slept in clean beds. They have been treated with respect. Not kindness, not friendship, just respect. Professional, correct, humane. This is not what they expected. This is not what they were told. Unteroffizier Wilhelm Braun lies in his bunk. He stares at the ceiling. He cannot sleep. A question keeps echoing in his mind, a question he cannot silence, a question that terrifies him. If they lied about America, what else did they lie about? He closes his eyes. He pushes the question away. He tells himself it means nothing. He tells himself Germany will still win. He tells himself the Führer has a plan. But the question remains, waiting, growing, preparing to destroy everything he believes. The ship sails on, toward America, toward the truth, toward the death of an ideology. July 1943, Norfolk, Virginia. The SS John Adams docks at dawn. The German prisoners are led onto American soil. Wilhelm Braun steps off the gangway. He looks around. The port is chaos, organized chaos. Cranes lifting cargo, trucks rolling in endless columns, trains waiting on sidings, workers everywhere. Not soldiers, workers, civilians, men and women in overalls, black workers and white workers side by side. Wilhelm has been told that America is torn apart by racial conflict, that the Negroes are ready to revolt, that the nation is on the edge of civil war. He sees black workers operating cranes. He sees black workers driving trucks. He sees black workers eating lunch next to white workers. No conflict, no revolt, just work. Another lie. The prisoners are loaded onto trains, passenger trains, not cattle cars. Wilhelm sits by a window. The seat is cushioned, comfortable. The train begins to move, west, toward Texas, toward the prison camps. It is morning. The sun is bright. The countryside rolls past. Farms, endless farms, fields of wheat and corn stretching to the horizon. Wilhelm watches. He tries to count the farms. He loses count. In Germany, every acre is precious. In Germany, every field is measured and managed. In Germany, there is never enough land. Here, the land never ends. The train passes through towns, small towns. Every town has paved streets. Every town has cars parked along the roads. Every town has shops with full windows. No bomb damage, no rubble, no ruins. Wilhelm has not seen an undamaged town in 3 years. He had forgotten what peace looks like. Night falls. Wilhelm expects the train to stop, or at least for the lights to go out. In Germany, night means blackout. Every window covered, every street light extinguished, every city plunged into darkness. To hide from the bombers, to survive. For 3 years, Germany has lived in the dark. The train keeps moving. The lights stay on. Wilhelm looks out the window. He sees cities blazing with light. Street lights lining every road, neon signs glowing on buildings, windows lit in houses, factories illuminated, cars with headlights driving freely. Light everywhere. Unlimited light. Wasteful light. Wilhelm presses his face against the glass. He cannot believe what he is seeing. A city passes, then another, then another. All of them burning with electricity. All of them announcing to the world, "We are not afraid. We have nothing to hide. We have so much power, we can waste it on light." A prisoner across the aisle whispers, "They leave lights on in empty rooms." Wilhelm nods. He has seen it. Houses with lights on and no one home. Shops closed for the night but still illuminated. Parking lots lit for no cars. The waste is magnificent. The waste is terrifying. The waste proves everything. If America can waste electricity like this, how much does it have? If America does not fear bombers, how strong is its air force? If America can illuminate an entire continent, what else can it do? Wilhelm sits back in his seat. His hands are shaking. Germany is fighting in the dark. America is fighting in the light. The war is already over. He just didn't know it until now. The train stops at a small station, somewhere in Missouri, middle of the night. The guards announce a 20-minute rest. The prisoners can stretch their legs. Wilhelm steps onto the platform. The air is warm, humid. There is a small diner next to the station, open at 2 in the morning, lights blazing. A guard walks towards the diner. He is young, maybe 20, a private. He looks at the prisoners. He counts. Then he walks into the diner. 10 minutes later, he comes out. He is carrying paper bags, many paper bags. He walks to the prisoners. He starts handing out hamburgers. Wilhelm takes one. He stares at it. A hamburger. Meat. Bread. Onions. cheese. For prisoners. In the middle of the night, from a diner that never closes. The guard bought 20 hamburgers, casually, without hesitation, without paperwork, without rationing. He just walked in and bought them, with his own money, for enemies. Wilhelm holds the hamburger. He feels the warmth through the paper. In Germany, meat is rationed. In Germany, a hamburger is a fantasy. In Germany, a soldier would never waste money on prisoners. But here, a 20-year-old private buys hamburgers for Nazis because he can, because there are more hamburgers, because there will always be more hamburgers. Wilhelm takes a bite. The meat is real. The bread is soft. The cheese is melted. It is the best thing he has ever tasted. It is the worst thing he has ever experienced. Because he understands now, finally, completely. Wilhelm finishes the hamburger. He stands on the platform. He looks at the lights of the small town. His mind starts calculating. He cannot help it. He was an engineer before the war. This town has maybe 5,000 people. It has electricity for street lights, homes, factories, diners, 24 hours a day. How much power does that require? How much coal? How much oil? He multiplies. There are thousands of towns like this, hundreds of cities, all of them lit, all of them powered, all of them wasting electricity like it costs nothing. He thinks about Germany. Berlin has rolling blackouts. Hamburg has no power some nights. Munich rations electricity by the hour. And America lights empty parking lots for fun. The math is clear. The math is brutal. The math is final. Germany cannot win. Germany could never win. Germany was dead before the first shot was fired. Wilhelm stands in the light of an American small town, 2 in the morning, holding the wrapper of a hamburger. And he knows. We have lost. Not because of battles, not because of generals, not because of soldiers, because of hamburgers, because of light bulbs, because of a 20-year-old guard who can buy 20 hamburgers at 2 in the morning without thinking twice. The ideology cracks. The faith crumbles. The lie dies. Wilhelm boards the train. He sits in his comfortable seat. He watches America roll past in the night. Blazing, infinite, unstoppable. He closes his eyes. He does not sleep. He thinks about everything he believed, and he wonders what else was a lie. Part 1. The Land. Kansas, August 1943. The train crosses the Great Plains. Wilhelm Braun sits at the window. He has been watching for hours. He cannot stop watching. Wheat. Endless wheat. Golden fields stretching to the horizon in every direction. No fences, no boundaries, no end. In Germany, a farm of 50 hectares is large. A farm of 100 hectares is an estate. A farm of 200 hectares belongs to nobility. Wilhelm tries to estimate the size of a single Kansas farm. He uses the train's speed. He counts the minutes between farmhouses. 5,000 hectares. One farm. Larger than some German provinces. He sees another farm, and another, and another. Each one the size of a German district. Each one operated by a single family. Each one producing more grain than a German village consumes in a year. Wilhelm thinks about the food shortages in Germany, the rationing, the hunger. And here, America has so much land it cannot even farm all of it. Fields lie fallow, not because of war, because they don't need them. The abundance is obscene. Part 2. The Machines. The train passes through a farming town. Wilhelm sees the equipment. Tractors, massive tractors. Not one or two, dozens, parked in rows outside dealerships, waiting to be sold. In Germany, tractors are rare. The army has requisitioned most of them. Farmers use horses, farmers use oxen, farmers use their own backs. Here, every farm has machines, tractors, combines, trucks. He sees a single combine harvester working a field. One machine, one operator, harvesting more wheat in an hour than a German village harvests in a day. No horses, nowhere. Wilhelm has not seen a single working horse since arriving in America. They don't need them. They have engines, they have gasoline, they have unlimited steel to build unlimited machines. A prisoner behind him mutters, "Where are all the workers?" Wilhelm understands. There are no workers. The machines do the work. One American farmer produces what 10 German farmers produce, because machines multiply men. And America has more machines than Germany has men. September 1943. The prisoners are transferred to a camp near Detroit. They will work in agriculture, harvesting crops, filling the gaps left by American men at war. The train passes Willow Run. Wilhelm sees it through the window. He stops breathing. A building. A single building, so large it has its own horizon. The Ford Willow Run plant. 3.5 million square feet, the largest factory under one roof in the world. It produces B-24 Liberator bombers. Wilhelm watches as a bomber rolls out of the building, complete, ready to fly. Another follows, then another. He counts. In 15 minutes, he sees 14 bombers emerge. 14, 15 minutes. He does the math. One bomber every 63 minutes. 22 bombers per day. 650 bombers per month. From one factory. One factory. Germany's entire aircraft industry produces maybe 300 bombers per month. Total. All factories combined. One American factory outproduces the entire Reich. Wilhelm feels dizzy. He grips the seat. The numbers are impossible. The numbers are real. The numbers are death. Part 4. The Engineer. In the camp, Wilhelm meets Oberleutnant Friedrich Hartmann. Hartmann was an engineer before the war. He designed bridges. He understands steel. He understands production. He understands numbers. At night, in the barracks, Hartmann calculates. He has been watching. He has been counting. He has been estimating. The trains that pass the camp, the trucks on the roads, the planes in the sky. He has numbers. I have calculated American steel production, he tells Wilhelm. His voice is flat, dead. How much? 80 million tons per year. Wilhelm blinks. Germany produces 20 million in a good year, before the bombing. Silence. 4-1, Hartmann says. They produce 4 times our steel, and they are not even trying. Their factories work 1 shift. They could work 3. The aluminium? Worse, they produce more aluminium in 1 month than we produce in a year. The oil? Hartmann laughs. It is not a happy sound. They produce more oil in Texas alone than the entire Reich consumes. They have so much oil, they export it. They burn it for fun. They race cars for entertainment. Wilhelm is silent. I was a good Nazi, Hartmann says. I believed. I trusted the Führer. I thought we would win. He looks at Wilhelm. His eyes are empty. Then I did the math. And? The math does not care about ideology. The math does not care about willpower. The math does not care about the master race. He pauses. The math says we lost this war before it started. We are fighting an enemy that can replace every tank we destroy, every plane we shoot down, every ship we sink. We kill one, they build 10. So what do we do? Hartmann shrugs. We wait. We survive. We go home eventually. And we never speak of the 1,000-year Reich again, because the Reich will be lucky to last another 1,000 days.
Wilhelm lies in his bunk. He stares at the ceiling. He thinks about the farms, the machines, the factories, the steel, the oil, the bombers rolling off the line every 63 minutes. He thinks about Germany, bombed cities, rationed food, horses pulling artillery, women working in factories because all the men are dead. He thinks about the propaganda. America is weak. America is decadent. America is a mongrel nation. Lies. All lies. America is not weak. America is so strong it doesn't even know its own strength. America fights a war on 2 oceans and still has enough left over to light empty parking lots and feed prisoners hamburgers. Germany is fighting with courage. America is fighting with math. Math wins. Math always wins. Wilhelm closes his eyes. He is no longer a Nazi. He is no longer a believer. He is just a man who has seen the truth, a man who knows how this war ends, with American steel burying German courage, with numbers crushing willpower, with abundance smothering ideology. The lie is dead. The truth is all that remains.
Part 1. The Announcement. December 24th, 1943, Camp Hearn, Texas. The morning roll call ends. The American camp commander makes an announcement. Tonight there will be a special Christmas dinner for all prisoners. Attendance is voluntary. The mess hall will be decorated. You may sing carols if you wish. The Germans stand in silence. Christmas dinner for prisoners, for enemies. Some laugh bitterly. American propaganda. They want photographs for their newspapers. It will be bread and water with a paper hat. Wilhelm says nothing. He has learned not to predict what Americans will do. He has learned that his predictions are always wrong. Part 2. The Hall. Evening. Wilhelm enters the mess hall. He stops at the door. The room is transformed. A Christmas tree in the corner, real pine, decorated with lights and ornaments, electric lights, burning electricity for a tree, for prisoners. Wreaths on the walls, candles on the tables, tablecloths, real tablecloths. And the smell. Wilhelm closes his eyes. He breathes. Roasting meat, baking bread, something sweet. He has not smelled anything like this since before the war, since his mother's kitchen, since home. He opens his eyes. He walks to his seat. He waits. The food arrives. Wilhelm stares at his plate. His hands grip the edge of the table. Turkey. A thick slice of roasted turkey, golden brown, glistening with fat. Ham, pink and tender, glazed with honey. Mashed potatoes, a mountain of them, drowning in butter, real butter. Gravy, a boat of dark brown gravy, enough to fill a German family's rations for a week. Green beans, fresh rolls, cranberry sauce. And on a separate plate, waiting, cake, chocolate cake with frosting. And next to the cake, ice cream, vanilla ice cream, in December, in a prison camp. Wilhelm does not move. He cannot move. The man beside him is weeping, silently, tears running down his face into his mashed potatoes. Another man is laughing, hysterically, as if he has lost his mind. Another is praying, hands clasped, eyes closed, whispering to a God he had stopped believing in. Wilhelm picks up his fork. His hand trembles. He takes a bite of turkey. It is real. It is perfect. It is the cruelest thing anyone has ever done to him. Across the table sits Feldwebel Otto Bruckner. Bruckner is 41 years old, a veteran of the First War, a true believer since 1933, a Nazi to his bones. He has not touched his food. He is staring at it. His face is white. "My wife," he says. His voice cracks. Wilhelm looks at him. "My wife is in Hamburg. She waits in line for 4 hours to get a quarter loaf of bread. My children go to bed hungry. My mother died last winter because there was no medicine." He points at his plate. "And they give this to me? To an enemy? To a man who killed their soldiers?" His hand shakes. "They treat us better than the Führer treats our own widows." Silence at the table. Bruckner pushes back from the table. He stands. He walks out of the mess hall. He does not come to meals for 3 days. When he returns, something is different. The Nazi pin is gone from his collar. The fire is gone from his eyes. He never speaks of the Führer again. The Americans allow prisoners to write home. Letters are censored. Military information is blacked out. Locations are removed. But descriptions of food are allowed. Descriptions of treatment are allowed. Descriptions of abundance are allowed. The Americans are not stupid. They know exactly what they are doing. Wilhelm writes to his sister in Hamburg. "Dear Elsa, I hope this letter finds you well. I am in good health. The Americans treat us correctly." For Christmas, we received a special dinner: turkey, ham, potatoes with butter, vegetables, bread, cake, and ice cream. Every man received the same. There was more food than we could eat. Some had to be thrown away. I know this is difficult to read. I know what you face at home. But I want you to know the truth. The Americans have more food than they know what to do with. They feed their enemies better than we can feed our families. I do not write this to hurt you. I write this so you understand. Please share this letter with others. Your brother, Wilhelm. He seals the letter. He gives it to the guards. The censors read it. They stamp it approved. They send it. They send all of them. Thousands of letters, flooding into Germany, describing the turkey, describing the ice cream, describing the lights and the warmth and the abundance. The letters reach Hamburg. They reach Berlin. They reach Munich. They are passed from hand to hand, read aloud in bomb shelters, whispered in bread lines, shared among exhausted workers. The German people learn the truth, not from Allied propaganda, from their own sons, their own husbands, their own brothers. America has everything. Germany has nothing. The war is lost. The Christmas dinner costs the American government approximately $3 per prisoner. $3. For that price, they break the faith of thousands of Nazis. For that price, they send letters of despair into the heart of the Reich. For that price, they prove that everything Hitler promised was a lie. Turkey and ice cream. The most devastating psychological weapon of the war. No bullets, no bombs, no casualties. Just food. Just abundance. Just the simple truth that America has so much it can afford to give feasts to its enemies. The Nazis at Camp Herne do not know it yet, but they are already defeated. Not captured, defeated. Their ideology cannot survive contact with American plenty. Their faith cannot survive chocolate cake in December. Their world view cannot survive letters home describing ice cream while Hamburg starves. The weapon of abundance has struck, and there is no defense against it. May 1946. Wilhelm Braun stands on the deck of a Liberty ship, the same kind of ship that brought him to America 3 years ago. He is going home. The ship approaches Bremerhaven. Wilhelm looks at the coast. Ruins. The port is rubble. The cranes are twisted metal. The buildings are hollow shells. This is Germany. This is what is left. The ship docks. The prisoners disembark. They are no longer prisoners. They are just men, going home to nothing. Wilhelm walks through the streets of Bremerhaven. Rubble. Everywhere, rubble. Mountains of brick and concrete and broken glass. Women clearing debris with their bare hands. Children playing in bomb craters. Old men sitting on piles of stone, staring at nothing. No food, no electricity, no hope. Wilhelm thinks about Texas, the lights, the hamburgers, the Christmas dinner. 2 different planets, 2 different universes. And Germany lost. Wilhelm finds his way to Hamburg. It takes 3 days. The trains do not run. The roads are cratered. He walks most of the way. Hamburg is worse than Bremerhaven. Operation Gomorrah, July 1943. 42,000 dead in 1 week. Firestorms that melted asphalt and boiled canals. Wilhelm's neighborhood does not exist. His street does not exist. His building does not exist. He stands in a field of rubble. Somewhere beneath his feet is his childhood home, his mother's kitchen, his father's study, his bedroom. Gone, erased, as if they never existed. He learns his sister survived. She lives in a cellar on the other side of the city. 3 families sharing 1 room. He finds her. She is thin, so thin. Her eyes are hollow. Her hair is grey. She is 32 years old. She looks 50. Wilhelm. She embraces him. She weeps. You are alive. You are alive. He holds her. He feels her bones through her skin. I got your letters, she whispers, about the food, about America. I am sorry. I should not have. No. She pulls back. She looks at him. You told the truth. We needed truth. We had been fed lies for so long. She touches his face. You look healthy. You look fed. Wilhelm says nothing. What can he say? He ate turkey while she starved. He had ice cream while her children died. Tell me about America, she says. Tell me everything. And he does. The next years are hard. Germany is occupied, divided, humiliated. But it is also being rebuilt. The Americans bring food. The Marshall Plan brings money. Factories are rebuilt. Roads are repaired. And the men who return from American prison camps, they bring something else. Ideas. Wilhelm finds work at a manufacturing plant. The owner is a man named Conrad. He was also a prisoner in America. Camp Concordia, Kansas. I watched how they ran their factories, Conrad tells Wilhelm. Assembly lines, standardization, efficiency, no wasted motion, no wasted material. He points at the factory floor. We are doing it their way now. The German way failed. The American way works. Wilhelm nods. He understands. Across West Germany, the same thing is happening. Former prisoners bringing American methods home. American management, American production, American efficiency. Not because they were ordered to, because they saw it work, because they believe in it, because abundance convinced them when bombs could not. 1955, 10 years since the war ended. Wilhelm walks through Hamburg. The rubble is gone. New buildings stand where ruins once lay. Shops are full. Cars fill the streets. People are fed. People are working. People are smiling. The Wirtschaftswunder, the economic miracle. West Germany has risen from the ashes, faster than anyone predicted, stronger than anyone expected. And it was built by men who learned in American prison camps, men who saw the farms of Kansas, men who saw the factories of Detroit, men who ate hamburgers at 2 in the morning and understood what abundance meant. They did not copy American democracy because they were forced to. They copied it because they saw it work. They believed because they experienced. 371,000 German prisoners passed through American camps. 371,000 witnesses to abundance. 371,000 seeds planted in German soil. And they grew. Wilhelm lives until 1987. He sees Germany reunited. He sees the wall fall. He sees the country he once fought for become a democracy, a partner, an ally. He never forgets Texas. He never forgets the Christmas dinner. He never forgets the hamburger at 2 in the morning. His grandchildren ask him about the war. "Grandfather, what defeated Germany?" He thinks for a long moment. Not the tanks, not the planes, not the bombs. Then what? Bread. They do not understand. He does not explain. Some truths cannot be taught. They must be experienced. The weapon of bread. The United States spent 4 years fighting Nazi Germany, millions of soldiers, billions of dollars, hundreds of thousands of lives. And in the end, the most effective weapon was not a bomb. It was a dinner plate. 371,000 German prisoners came to America as enemies. They left as witnesses.
They saw the farms and the factories. They saw the lights and the abundance. They saw a nation so wealthy it could feed its enemies like kings.
And they could not unsee it.
The ideology of the master race cannot survive contact with American plenty. The myth of German superiority cannot survive a hamburger at 2 in the morning. The lie of National Socialism cannot survive Christmas dinner in Texas. America did not just defeat Germany. America transformed Germany. Not with propaganda, not with re-education programs, not with lectures about democracy. With turkey, with ice cream, with lights in empty rooms, with the simple, overwhelming truth of abundance. The war was won with bullets and bombs, but the peace was won with bread. And that is the victory that lasted. If this story changed how you see World War II, hit that subscribe button, because history is not just about battles and generals. It is about hamburgers at 2 in the morning. It is about Christmas dinners for enemies. It is about the quiet weapons that transform minds. Germany sent its soldiers to conquer the world. America sent them home with full stomachs and broken faith.
The weapon of abundance, the victory of bread, the war that was won in the mess hall. Next time on Iron Witness, the Soviet pilot who rammed 9 German planes and survived every single crash.